Hell yes. Welcome back. This video is not going to be unlisted like the last one and shared via community posts because when I tried that with the last video, nobody saw it. YouTube didn't show it to anybody. So apparently I did something wrong. So this will be on a second channel. Moving forward, videos will be on second channels. This is my interpretation of maybe what YouTube wants. Who knows? But I don't want a ton of people to watch these videos. I mean, I don't really care, but I don't want nobody to watch them either. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about what is basically my favorite quote. And I'm not like a huge quote person, but 4 or 5 years ago, I heard this quote for the first time, and it really changed how I think about the world. So it goes, "All models are wrong, but some are useful." This is a quote from the world of statistics. It's often attributed to the statistician George Box, and that's about all I can tell you about him. I don't really know. I don't know what he's done in statistics. Seems important though. But basically, for statistics, for the world of statistics, what this quote means is basically that when you make a statistical model, basically some kind of box where you take in inputs and try and predict some kind of output, you're never going to be 100% correct. Because the real world is very complicated and it's very difficult to perfectly capture any phenomena that you're trying to capture with just kind of a set of numbers and rules and algorithms or whatever. So you won't be 100% correct, but you'll be some level of accurate with your statistical model. And depending on whatever the context you're working in, some level of accuracy is good enough. Maybe it's 70%, maybe it's 90%, maybe it's 99%. There's going to be some threshold for good enough. And I don't think about this quote very much in terms of statistics, but I do think about it a lot in terms of mental models, a bit more of a design or learning perspective on things. And what I mean by that is that when we go about our lives, we see different things, different phenomena, and we try to make sense of them by constructing in our heads kind of a set of relationships, rules that will explain what we're witnessing. So, for example, I'm, trying to become a better writer, and so I'm trying to update my mental model of what it means to write good stories for YouTube videos. And something I've done for that is read books from screenwriters about how they write, for fictional movies. Even though that's not the kind of stuff I make, it's a way of thinking, a way to conceptualize what it means to tell a story. And going back to that quote, when I'm mentally modeling the world around me, I oftentimes now think that I just need to have some idea of how things work, whether it's right or not. That's good enough to get me to move forward and to try something. For a long time in my life, especially when I was younger, I really was a stickler for wanting to make sure that I understood things correctly, that I did things the quote-unquote right way. And, windy and the train. I don't know how loud that is. It might be loud. But anyways, I was really a stickler for doing things the right way. And if I knew there were gaps in my knowledge, if I knew that I didn't understand something properly in its entirety, I would just kind of freeze up and be like, I just need to know all of this before I can move forward. It would happen in studies, but also for things like video games. Like, I'd be like, man, I can't play against other people until I've figured out all of these basic tools first, or all of these basic concepts, because I just wanted to make sure that my mental model was right. But after hearing that quote and kind of other developments in how I think about learning and stuff, I started to realize that it doesn't really matter whether or not your mental model is complete. And it never will be, for one thing. All models are wrong. But it doesn't really matter anyways. What matters is that it's good enough, and in particular, good enough to do something, because that's really how we get better at things and how we learn, is by doing things. So that's all. I just wanted to share that quote. I think about it all the time. All models are wrong, but some are useful. So it's okay if you don't know it all, Just make sure that you know enough to be useful and to try something out. Yeah.